This is getting harder and harder. Cards on the table, time to be honest, all that sort of stuff. Tech reviewing is a weird thing to do. You know, it's a brilliant thing to do. I would not change this job for the world, but we get sent loads of phones to review. Tons of them. It's great because we get to see what's on the market, we get to see Android, we get to see iPhone, and we can compare and get a good grounding for offering buying guidance and all that sort of stuff. But the counter side to this is the fact that we don't really stick with these phones for that long. There's always one phone we stick with. I think I speak for every tech reviewer with this. We all have one phone that is our main phone. But beyond that, the other stuff that we review, we use for a few weeks, sometimes even less than that, give our opinion on it and then move on. I can understand can be a bit irritating. The whole, I switched to this thing is a bit tongue-in-cheek. We know we're all playing on that a little bit. But I wanted to start this review of the iPhone 16, that's wrong, the iPhone 17 Pro Max with that thought, because I can't sit here and say, this is my main phone. It's not. My main phone is the iPhone Air. I've switched to this from the iPhone 16e. This is my main phone. I'm committing to it. I will be doing a follow-up review very soon of this, so make sure you hit that subscribe button not to miss it, etc. The iPhone 17 Pro Max isn't my main phone. However, I'm not sending it back. I've bought both of these, by the way. We don't get sent these. We have to buy them through the business, and there's cost involved there, and because of that, I want to make use of the stuff that we've bought. This has become a secondary production phone for me, what's a production phone? Who has a production phone? Immediately that's weird. However, I think that tells a very important story about the iPhone 17 Pro Max, particularly if you're considering buying this, because I think by the end of this video, you'll have answered that question. And to get us there, I'm going to give 5 things I love about this and 5 things I don't love about it. You don't want to miss any of them, trust me. Let's get into it. Let's start with the good stuff. Number 1, I think this is one of the best looking iPhones ever made, particularly in Cosmic Orange. Now, I went on about Cosmic Orange a little bit too much in my first impressions video last week. Apologies if that annoyed you. In fact, I don't care. Look at it. It's just brilliant. There's no other way to describe it. And also, the Cosmic Orange colour looks just as good in person, if not better, actually, than it does on the website, which isn't always the case with Apple colours. There can be a bit of a disappointment when you get them out of the box. Putting the colour to one side, I do like, I'm not calling it the plateau. I can't keep calling it the plateau. I don't like it. It's the camera bump. I love what they've done with this. It looks like the first fresh new iPhone for many, many years, I think. The combination of that and this kind of oblong thing here, it offsets it, it just makes it look new. It's great. It looks so different kind of to the iPhone 16 Pro Max and every other Pro Max that came before that. It's purposeful, it's mean, it's ready for business. Well done, Apple. It's the same story every year. You get a new iPhone and you think, which case should I buy? This year, you cannot look past the Keisaku Magic Stand 360 series. I've been using both the titanium Cosmic Orange and matte deep blue on the iPhone 17 Pro Max, and right out of the box, you notice how perfect the color matches. Then you snap it on and every button and corner is aligned perfectly with no room for unwanted movement. The differences don't stop at the colors. The Cosmic Orange case has a titanium frame for top tier protection, which is nice because Apple has removed that material this year. Whereas the deep blue features a more luxurious matte texture and a 360-degree airbag around the edges. I also think Keisaku has got the camera protection bang on this year. Often, cases just slap a huge ridge to protect the lenses, and this will definitely happen more with how big the iPhone 17 Pro Max's camera bump is. Keisaku has instead gone for something called the D cover, which is a semi-covered frame around the lens that adds structure and protection without making the case too bulky. But the main event is that built-in stand. It rotates a full 360 degrees, it clicks into place, and it works whether I'm watching videos, if I'm on a FaceTime call, or just propping it up on my desk. It also doubles as a grip to add some versatility while filming. There's no looseness, no wobble, plus it's MagSafe compatible, and those magnets are very solid. If you've just got a new iPhone 17 and you want something that's equal parts functional and actually looks good on your new phone, I definitely check these out. They're currently 15% off on Amazon for a limited time, so go and grab yours with the link in the description, and thanks to Keisaku for sponsoring this video. Number 2 is the fact that the camera system is still fantastic, and that is a relief because I was worried about going from the 5x optical zoom on the 15 and 16 Pro Max to the 4x optical zoom on this until I tried it and realized it doesn't matter. You don't miss that 1x extra zoom. It's just enough, and it still gives you that compression. It gives you the reach that you need. Happy days. The 8x optical quality digital zoom is very handy, actually. It's nice to have that option on the screen immediately, which does again differentiate the Pro and the Pro Max from the regular 17 and definitely the iPhone Air. Video quality is still the best on the market. I've been using this professionally over the last 2 or 3 days for a car shoot, but also some stuff in Munich yesterday, and it did the job perfectly. We've got 48 megapixels all round, amazing. We have the brilliant center stage selfie cam, which means you never have to do that again or that again. It works so well. I know that's not specific to the Pro Max, but it's there, so it's worth mentioning. Now, I've not taken loads of photos with this, but I am saving that test for a comparison with the S25 Ultra in a week or so's time, so make sure you hit that subscribe button not to miss that. But yeah, the camera system. Reason number 3, oh no, did I really put that? iOS 26 suits it. And the first bullet point says, liquid glass, controversial but growing on me. Before you set fire to your trousers and start kicking off down there are inherent issues with iOS 26. At times it's illegible and there's lots of instances of style over substance. But for some reason, since I've had the iPhone 17 Pro Max and the iPhone Air, I like liquid glass. I like iOS 26. I'm sorry. Reason number 4 is the battery life, and a very quick caveat with this, I've not had a SIM card in this phone at all. It's been using Wi-Fi, and I've not been using it as much as my iPhone Air because it's not my main phone. The fact that I say that the battery life is fantastic should be taken with a pinch of salt. However, if you do your research, as I have done, clearly a lot of people seem to think that this is in fact the best performing iPhone ever when it comes to battery life, which it should be because it's very expensive. It's the latest one, it's got the biggest battery ever, but that's reassuring because for the last possibly 3 generations of the Pro Max, I've not been that impressed with the battery life. I think we've got back to where we were for the iPhone 13 Pro Max. That was the high point for me. I think this has re-achieved it. Reason number 5 I like the Pro Max is because there's another option. I love the fact that Apple still has the 2-tier Pro thing. You know, if you don't want the great big phone, and it is a huge phone. Look at it, it's bigger than my head when I do that. It's just huge. However, if that is too big for you, just get the 17 Pro. I spent some time with Pete Matheson over the last 2 days, and he has the cosmic orange, obviously, iPhone 17 Pro, and I was a bit jealous of it because it just looked a bit more compact, and it still looked fantastic, but it was just more one-handed and a lovely little thing. But if you want the big one, you can get it. If you don't want the big one, Apple is still one of the few manufacturers who have 2-sized Pro phones. Happy days. And now, on to the bad stuff. Bad thing number 1 is iOS 26 because I'm conscious that people don't like it. Not everyone, but there's a big section of users and Apple fans out there who aren't keen on liquid glass. And the fact that when you buy your iPhone 17 Pro Max, it has that installed on it by default. You probably can somehow downgrade to the previous iOS if you really wanted to, but I wouldn't recommend doing that. Apple doesn't recommend doing that, and you get what you're given. And the fact that what you're given is a fairly controversial change to iOS is definitely a negative point given how tepid the reception has been. Bad thing number 2 is the fact that this is still a very expensive phone. The most you can spend on an iPhone 17 Pro Max in the UK is 2,000 quid. We'll put the US pricing down here, but it's a lot of money. That is the 2 terabyte version, which is a new storage tier and nice to have, but it's a lot of money. The base model, the 256 gig version, is $11,999, but you probably won't go for that if you're going for the Pro Max because you'll want 512, 1 terabyte. You'll want lots of storage, which means the price creeps up very quickly. Yes, you might trade in your previous phone. You might get this through your carrier, but you're paying for it somewhere, trust me, and it's expensive. And that's even more of a problem for Apple this year for 2 reasons, which I'll explain in a moment. Bad thing number 3 is the one that you've been waiting for. Scratches, Scratchgate, this whole thing about particularly the cosmic orange and the blue iPhone 17 Pro and Pro Max scratching. I've not seen it. Mine is completely pristine because I've put a case on it, but, and this is all alleged, apparent, I can't speak to this because I've not seen it myself. People have gone into Apple stores and they've noticed on the back, particularly on this bit here, loads of scratches that they think have come from putting the phone onto the MagSafe charger. Other people have reported apparently scratches around the plateau, the camera bump. It hasn't happened to me. Nothing's chipped away yet, but like I say, I have put it straight into a case. You may put yours straight into a case, but there may be an issue there. And if it is an issue, that's not great. Bad thing number 4 relates to the price of the iPhone 17 Pro Max, and it's the fact that the iPhone 17 exists and the fact that the iPhone 17 is so good. They've got rid of the 60Hz issue. It now has Pro Motion. It's got the same front-facing center stage selfie cam. It's pretty much got the same main camera on the back. Okay, it doesn't have the A19 Pro. It doesn't have the higher storage tiers. It doesn't have the big display of the Pro Max, and it doesn't have the telephoto stuff or the very, very niche video features that you get in this phone. Does any of that matter to most people? Probably not. A great example of this is James, who works within this business. He said to me the other day that he's very tempted by the Pro or the Pro Max, but he keeps going back to that 17 and just thinking, just get the regular one. Why not? Because the core experience is still the same as the big Pro Max. And also it's easier to carry around. And I nearly said there's better colors. There's no cosmic orange iPhone 17, but there are some very, very nice colors. It's an issue, I think, for Apple, because several people who would normally just go for the Pro or the Pro Max are probably looking at the iPhone 17 and thinking, that's enough. Bad thing number 5 for the iPhone 17 Pro Max is the iPhone Air, for the same reason-ish as the iPhone 17. Yes, it's not as cheap as the iPhone 17. There's only about £200, $200 difference between these two phones, but look at it. It's the new kid on the block. It's super thin. It's got the A19 Pro chip. Yes, there are compromises with battery life and the camera system quite significantly on both counts, but just look at it. I've noticed a lot of people in the comment sections of my videos saying, I'm really tempted by the Air. And that probably isn't as much of an issue for Apple because, like I say, the margins are slightly different compared to the Pro Max versus the regular 17, but they're still losing money if I go for this over this. And it makes the buying process really complicated for some people who, and I would be one of these people if I wasn't doing this. I'd be looking at these two phones thinking, oh, that my head says that, but my heart says that. What would you go for? Let me know down below. I love what Apple has done with the iPhone this year. For the first time in probably 3 or 4 years, we've got a really interesting iPhone lineup that's different, that has a completely new entrant, and offers all these kind of weird buying decisions that I've talked about today. Now it's over to you guys. Which one are you going for? The Pro Max, the Pro, the iPhone Air, regular 17, something else? Get involved down below. And remember, I've got a full review of this coming very soon, and that comparison between the iPhone 17 Pro Max and the S25 Ultra, which I think is going to be very, very interesting. Make sure you hit that subscribe button not to miss those videos. Hit the like button, get involved in the comments, and I'll see you down there.